So I'm going to do my first review today. So here at DCHQ we have two GymPins. And the intent of the GymPin, the purpose of it is primarily to be able to extend the weight stack on your existing cable machine or on a selectorized machine. So, sorry I'm a little out of breath right now. I just did a set. But, so anyways, that's the intent with it. So my cables, they go up to each 70 pounds, which is a decent weight, but I did want something where I could load a little bit heavier. So these come in handy here. So looking at the pin itself, so if you look at it, you've got the sleeve where you can load Olympic plates. They also make a 1-inch sleeve where you can load standard plates as well. And then your pin, which goes right in to your machine, just like your pin would. So a few considerations with the pin. So it comes in two sizes. It comes in an 8mm and a 10mm. So you have to make sure that you get the right size for your machine. My FreeMotion here has about an 8mm pin, so the 8mm is what works for me. The 10mm would have been too big. So another consideration is the length of your pin. So one critique of the GymPin is that it is slightly shorter than my existing pin. Doesn't seem to really affect function too much, but I would like it to be able to go all the way back if possible, but not the end of the world. It can only make so many different designs of this in different iterations of it, so I get it. But GymPin, that might be something to consider in the future. So these puppies are rated at 60 kilos each, so it's about 132 pounds. They say that they're both rated at 60 kilos. I can't say, I can speculate that the 10mm can probably handle more than 60 just due to the size of the pin, but I can't say for certain. Can't make that claim, but as an engineer, it would make sense that the 10mm could probably hold more than 60 kilos. But this one can hold 60. It's on the website, that's what it's rated at. So to use this thing, and another consideration with that is also, so you don't have to just consider the rating, the weight loading of the rating of the pin itself. You have to consider what your actual cable machine is rated at. As a mechanical engineer, I know that most of these machines are designed with a decent safety factor, probably at least 2. So you're probably pretty safe loading a fair bit of weight on this, but that's not a recommendation. That's just from my engineering knowledge. But something to keep in mind with that is I do know that cables do wear out over time. So if your cable, I would make sure you're inspecting your cable in general, but especially if you're loading more weight on your stack, because those cables, they can break. I had a cable break on me at my old gym at Pure Athletics. I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, where it just snapped on me during a phase pull, so that was cool. But anyways, so some specific considerations for my machine. So basically it just goes in like a normal cable pin, and it moves like butter. I tried it out for the first time yesterday. I wasn't sure since your loading point is kind of outside of the typical path of the actual stack, that it might create a little bit of torque and might not ride along as well. But really, when I loaded about 30 pounds on it, and it moved like butter. It felt like just a stack with extra weight, a bigger stack. So I was really impressed with the function of it. Something else to really consider when you are loading extra weight on your stack and when you're putting it in your logbook, you know, how much weight you're actually adding. So you do have to consider the mechanical advantage of the cable tower. So my cable tower specifically is a 3-to-1 ratio. So when I loaded about 30 pounds yesterday, it really only added about 10 pounds of load to the resistance of the cable. So that is something to keep in mind. Other than that, that's, oh yes, one more thing. So for me specifically, the issue with this specific thing, So I'm able to load 25s pretty easily on here. I can't just do the design of the free motion. I don't have the ability to load the full sleeve just because it's blocked off here. But one thing that is a disadvantage with the free motion is that if I loaded a 25 on here, I wouldn't be able to load a 25 on the other side because they'd be colliding. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're using it. Also with this, I have to be careful that I can't, this can't travel above here. So it's fine when it's loaded all the way at the bottom because this is a 3-to-1 ratio, so it doesn't have to travel. This cable doesn't travel very far. So if I pull the cable 3 feet, this only moves 1 foot. So there's quite a bit of travel. So when I'm loading it all the way at the bottom, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't come close to coming up here. It only comes up maybe halfway or so. But it is something to consider. Because especially, I was kind of intending to maybe use it to micro load up towards higher in the stack, but obviously if I did that, I wouldn't be able to do that, or it would just collide with this during my set. So can't do that, but it does work very well for loading the machine. So overall, I'm really impressed with the product. Definitely recommend giving it a look if you're looking to add more weight to your cable or machine, whatever. Hit me up with any questions that you have on specs, if you want my more engineering analysis, or have questions on your specific machine, want some guidance or whatever. Yeah, feel free to reach out. But yep, good product.